Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Justina and here I like to make, create, and inspire fun art things with you through my DIYs. As you see by today's title and clicking on today's video, I have quick and easy DIYs for you for this Halloween season that is very affordable to make. I would like to thank all of you for being extra patient with me in my uploading process. A lot is happening behind the scenes, but that will be shortly addressed later on. But for now, I have today's video, which I was super excited to share with you. So hopefully this will help inspire you. Now, if you are new here and you haven't yet subscribed, I hope you do that today. All you have to do is click on that big red subscribe button down below. It is totally free, but don't forget to click on the bell notification so that YouTube can always notify you every time I upload a video. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate each and every one of you clicking on today's video and spending a little time with me while I DIY. Now, don't forget to do all the YouTubey things, which is like, comment, share, and maybe subscribing if you are new. That really does help out my channel. Now, with all that being said, let's just jump right into it and let's art today. Moving right into our first DIY, I have some wax paper down on my crafting table because I am going to use this Loctite foam. You can find this at Walmart or even Lowe's or Home Depot, and pretty much this is just leftover of what I had in my stash, and I am going to start spraying little circles all around that wax paper. I'm making 3 individual circles that are connecting because I want to make some spooky Halloween popcorn decor. I've seen this done for Christmas where they make these really large popcorn garlands, but I want to make one for Halloween, and it's not really a garland. I'm actually going to put it in a container. So as you see here, I do 3 little swirlies on each side, and then I realized they started to look like a different shape. So then I just started spraying it onto itself and making it take shape in a different way. If you know, you know. So I will just continue adding all of these little popcorn kernels all over this wax paper until I got the desired amount that I want. Now, I did go a little overboard and made too many. However, this is what they look like as they are in their drying process. And once they are completely dry, you can see like they're fully solidified and they're really hard to the touch. That's when you know you can start doing things to it, like painting. I did flip mine over because sometimes it will be wet in the center when you flip it all over. So I did let it dry for an additional about 2 more minutes. However, I am going to start painting it so it looks more like popcorn. Now, once again, this step is really optional. You do not have to paint yours. However, mine was just a little bit too bright white, so I'm going in with my Folk Art Home Decor chalk paint in the color Sheepskin at first, just to give a base layer of a darker white or a neutral color. This way that it looks more of a food rather than just a ball of foam. Now, remember, you can decorate your popcorn however you like, and the possibilities are pretty much endless. And you can still make a popcorn garland out of these if you desire, but I just wanted to make a little popcorn bucket situation. Next, I'm going in with this bright yellow color and I'm adding it all over my popcorn kernel, as you see here, and I am just adding it to various spaces and spots because I didn't want it to be completely yellow. However, some of my popcorn has more butter than others, so you will see that after I'm done painting all of them. Here's how my popcorn looks after it had time to completely dry. Like I mentioned before, some of them are more yellow than others. Next, I add some caulk to a cup and mixed in some green paint with it. That way I can now place it all over my popcorn kernels. This will act as like white chocolate that you put over the popcorn kernels around either Halloween time or Christmas time. I just thought it would just add another layer of creepiness. Now I am going for like a toxic mad scientist vibe, so this added to the ooze effect that I'm having in my house for this Halloween season. I did mix up another color, which is orange, and as you see here, I did add it to a Ziploc bag, but you can always add it to a piping bag. Once that was done, I have these glass beads from Dollar Tree that I use all year long in all of my crafts. I like to use them as sprinkles, especially when I'm making fake sweets. Now, you can always find fake sprinkles on Amazon, but this is a simpler way to just find them at Dollar Tree, and they come in all different types of colors and sizes and different shapes. Now, after I have all of my sprinkles on top, it is now time to add it to my popcorn bucket, which is this bucket that I found at Dollar Tree. 2 came in a pack, and I just loved it. Now, just to add a little riser, I did glue down that cup at first and then a pool noodle because I really wanted the popcorn to be on top of the bucket, looking like it's overflowing out of it. Once I had those glued in the center, I am going to start adding the popcorn right into my bucket, and I'm using my hot glue gun to attach it down to one another and to the bucket itself. I am putting down the larger pieces that I've made in first, that way it is nice and overflowing, and then I will add the little ones right on top and all around until my whole bucket is covered in little popcorn. Now that I have all of the kernels where I want them, I did want to add some more embellishments, and I have these 3D spiders and these creepy crawly, I guess they are centipedes, that I found at the 99-cent store and Dollar Tree. I had the ones from the 99-cent store since last year, just haven't used them. So now I'm just adding a little dollop of hot glue right on top of my popcorn kernel, and I'm adding the bug right on top of it because that is really spooky and gross, and it goes with the vibe I'm going with. After I added that, I am adding little spiders all over it as well, just to give it more of a spooky look. Remember, you can decorate your popcorn however you like, but this is Halloween and we do like to do things a little spooky on this channel. After I have all of my bugs where I like it, it still was missing a little bit more of something, so I went through my stash and I found some moss that I had on hand, and I'm gluing that in various spots as well, just to fill in some of those holes so you don't see down in the bucket and to give it more of a creepy vibe that we're going for. But once that was done, that completes this DIY. This is how my spooky popcorn bucket turned out. Now, I didn't have to use all of my popcorn kernels, so I left a few out left on the table, but I absolutely loved how this turned out and is a perfect addition to my fake Halloween sweets bar that I have going on. I just love adding new pieces to that every year, but I really would love to know what you think about this down in the comment section below. For our next DIY project, I have some of these skeleton hands, a skull, and a terracotta pot. Once again, I bought mine from the 99-cent store when they were open for about $1.49, but they were about 80% off, so I didn't really pay much for it. Next, I have 2 of these skeleton hands that I purchased from Dollar Tree. They were $1.25 each, and a skull from Dollar Tree as well. Now, this DIY is basically a learn and go process because I really didn't know what I was trying to do. My youngest suggested it coming out of the pot, so I absolutely loved that idea. So I was trying to figure out how I was going to do that with this size pot. I should have used a bigger pot, to be honest with you. However, it still turned out really awesome and we absolutely love it. So I really wanted my skull to have his mouth open, so I just took an X-Acto knife and I started cutting out the mouth part of the skull. And as you see here, I do have to take parts of the cheeks out so that it can have an opening motion, and I do also have to do a slit on the back side to help it open its mouth as well. And as you see here, I'm just removing parts of it and then pressing down firmly so that it can start loosening up and open its mouth further. I do believe Dollar Tree does carry smaller skulls that can open its mouth, but I'm just using what I have on hand. Now for these skeleton hands, these are really thick plastic, almost like a acrylic texture. However, I didn't realize that they do bend, but if you bend it a little bit too much, it does pop off. However, I did break off the pinky, but it did work into my favor because now it looks like it's gripping the pot. After I have the placement of where I want my skeleton hand to go, I am using my hot glue gun to attach it down to the ceramic pot in 2 places. And as you see here, I am attaching the pinky back on, but almost as like it's gripping the pot. And I am using, once again, my hot glue gun and Gorilla Glue sticks to hold it down in place. And I always add a little bit of more hot glue to the joints so that everything holds their place nicely. Next, I'm adding the skull right into it, and I didn't really know which way I wanted the skull head to lay, but I eventually liked this angle, so then I am once again using my hot glue gun to attach down the skull to the ceramic pot as well. I do have to hold it into the spot until it completely dries, which doesn't take too long, and then I did add a little bit more hot glue to secure everything into place. And just look at how creepy it looks already. But to make it even more spooky, because I like things a little spooky here, we are adding paint onto our skull so it looks more aged and weathered and almost like it's coming out of the pot. So I went in with my Folk Art Home Decor chalk paint in the color Java, which is just this dark brown at first, and I'm painting the entire skull and the skeleton hand in that paint color, and I do a blotchy job just to give it more of a creepy vibe. I also took an X-Acto knife and cut out some of the skull's teeth just to once again give it a spooky vibe. Next, I'm going in with black acrylic paint and painting on the eyes, the nose, and adding it to various places. Then I'll take a paper towel, and as you see here, I'm just removing some of the excess, and then I will do a dabbing motion all over the skull to give it more of a textured consistency. Once that was done, I wanted to add some greenery into the skull's mouth, and at this time I did not know that my camera was moving. That was not planned at all. However, it did stop in the right spot, and as you see here, I'm just adding a little bit of hot glue into the skull's mouth, and then I will add my greenery right on top of the glue. Then after I had my leaves where I wanted, I had this little succulent in my crafting stash, and I kind of wanted it on the side of the mouth, so I do have to hold it into place until it dried. And then I'm adding more of that spooky moss that we had purchased from Dollar Tree right on the bottom part of his mouth. Now be very careful so you don't burn your finger when doing this. To add one more element of fright, I am adding this large spider that came off of a bouquet from Dollar Tree of roses. It was black roses, and I just popped that off and added it right there. Next, I wanted my pot to have a ooze effect, so I'm taking my hot glue gun and adding a bunch to the edge and kind of making it look like drips coming down the pot. And this was so fun to do, and it just gave that pot something extra, so it just didn't look like a basic ceramic pot. But I did go around the whole pot in its entirety. Now after the glue had time to completely dry, I went in with my Folk Art Home Decor chalk paint in the color Irish Green and painted all of that drippy effect, and I did have to give it about 2 coats of paint. Once the paint had time to completely dry, I am adding this Spanish moss that I purchased from Dollar Tree, all in the spots where you can see down in the pot that has nothing, just to add another layer of creepiness and also to hide the inside of the pot. And like I mentioned before, I am using my hot glue gun to attach it down. I am cutting off the excess so that it doesn't whelm the look that I'm going for. And once that was done, the last thing I needed to do was dirty up my ceramic pot because it was just too clean. And all I did was dip it in my Java chalk paint and some water, and I just dirtied the whole pot, and that completes this DIY. This is how my skull looks coming out of my pot. I absolutely love it, and so does my little one. They were so excited when I showed them their design came to life, and I'm just happy how it turned out. It's really fun and easy to do, but I would love to know what you think about this DIY down in the comment section below. This DIY definitely brings me back to the time when I was a little kid and we made most of our decorations from leftover cardboard that we had lying around our house. So that is what we're doing. I had that large piece of cardboard and my spouse just bought me this. I was complaining that it was really hard to cut cardboard with a pair of scissors, especially with my wrist being hurt. So they bought me this little electric scissor that I absolutely love. Now, the only thing with this electrical scissor is that it does straight lines really good. However, if you want to do curvy lines, it is a little bit troublesome. However, I still got the job done. And anything that was a little bit too hard to actually curve the electrical scissor with, I just used an X-Acto knife. So as you see here, I'm cutting this large piece of cardboard down into 3 pieces, and I just loved how it really cut it like butter. It was so simple and easy to do, and it wasn't messy at all. After I have my piece cut out, next I took a pencil and started making these curvy lines onto the cardboard because this will be a large piece of ooze that I'm making for my home decor. And as you see here, I'm just going back and forth until I got the desired look that I'm going for. Next, I am taking that electrical scissor. Once again, as you see here, I am having a little bit of a hard time getting it around the curve, but I then took it and went up with it. This really does work out. It did not hurt my wrist at all, but I just continue cutting it out until I have the desired look that I'm going for, which is this. Next, we are going to spray paint it. I like using the Rust-Oleum spray paint in this metal green. I do use the high gloss one because that is what I had on hand, but you can use whatever paint that you have on hand to get the same effect. Now I do give it a nice thick coat of that spray paint, making sure all of it is completely covered. Now I do not paint the backside, but I do let this sit outside till it completely dries. After it dries, it does look like this, and it does have a little sheen, but we are going to cover it using my Folk Art Home Decor chalk paint in the color Irish Green. I love this paint and I really need some more because I am running very low, so I will have to pick up some more pretty soon. But as you see here, I am just layering it right on top of the ooze and putting it in various spots and places just to give it more dimension and depth. Now I do add a little bit of water to my paintbrush just to dirty it up some, and I can spread it all over my ooze, and I do add extra layers here and there. As you will see, I did make 3 of these because I have different spots that I want to place them, and this was really fun and easy to do. Here, as you see, a lot of it smeared. It's because I added water on top. And next I'm taking a paper towel and just spreading it more and removing any excess just to give it more dimension. Now this was just the first layer. I did have to do a couple more, which I am going in with my Folk Art Home Decor chalk paint in the color Sheepskin now to add the highlights right where I think it would be more highlighted. And once again, this is totally optional. You can paint it however you look, but this really does give it the effect that I was going for. I do continue doing this for the rest of my ooze as well. Like I said, I did make 3 panels of this, And to give it more depth, I am going in with some black acrylic paint and just outlining some of the ooze in various places. Well, after you paint, you can be completely done, but I wanted to add magnets to the back of my panels because I want to place them in on top of my garage door. Now, I do want to mention you want to seal off your paint if you are going to place this outside for long periods of time. It is still cardboard and it will deteriorate. That's a hard word to say after it gets wet, but I am just using it for a party purposes, so it won't be out there for long. As you see here, I did place it on my refrigerator to show you that it does stick onto metal, but like I mentioned before, you do not have to put it outside. You can put it in various places. I even put one panel over my window and it just gives it the effect that I'm going for. All I did was add some painter's tape on the back of the cardboard to stick it on top of the window, and it does hold up nicely. It just depends on what type of material that you have above your windows, but like I said before, these are so easy to place all around your house. But this is how it looks like on top of my garage door. I absolutely love it. I do think I should add at least one more piece on either side, but I just loved how it turned out and would love to know what you think about this down in the comment section below. Friends, that completes today's DIYs for you. I had a blast making each and every one of these, but my absolute favorite would have to be the skull coming out of the pot, then the ooze, and then my popcorn. But I really love each and every one of them individually, but I would love to know which one was your favorite down in the comment section below. Remember, friends, if you are new here and you haven't yet subscribed, I hope you do that today. All you have to do is click on that big red subscribe button down below. It is totally free. But don't forget to click on the bell notification so that YouTube can always notify you every time I upload a new video. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for being here and clicking on today's video and spending a little bit of time with me. I do appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up button. It does really help out my channel. And also, if you can share it to one of your spooky friends. I really hope this video helps give you some inspiration to make some more decorations or help decorate your house for the Halloween season, or just give you inspiration for the next season. But I had a blast making these. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you did enjoy today's video, and as always, I will see you in the next one.